What's up YouTube, Mellow Matt here. So we are back here again on Dear Days for another deck profile. And this time we are here with Favrneel. So Favrneel is currently a JP exclusive line. But we are very much expecting it within the set 8 sort of era soonish. So let's start off with the new boss himself. So Favrneel has got 3 skills. 4 skills even, sorry. First one literally is a basic, you can only have 1 copy of him in your deck. So very similar to the Elementaria Sanctitude. Second skill is at the beginning of your main phase, your opponent chooses one of their rear guards, retires it. And if you did not ride this turn, this gets 10,000 power and a critical. And then the third skill is when your opponent's rear guard is retired during your turn, you can put a card from your hand into your soul and draw a card. And then the fourth skill is at the end of the battle this unit attacked, the sum of your Dark States cards in your soul is 13 or more, Cat Blast 2, stand this unit, and this unit gets drive -1 until end of turn. So what we can tell from this card here is the deck's all about getting to that magic 13 grades in soul, to then get to be restanding. He's got Persona, but obviously you can only have 1 copy of him. But this comes out further down the line in set 8, when obviously they get the chalice that says you can play this to give one of your Vanguard's Persona ride. So obviously this is where that use comes in. But until then, obviously, he doesn't gain power outside of his 10k and a crit that he gains turn 4 onwards. So it is a very slow-based deck, because you're locked to that turn 4. But you still have the early game pressure of being able to hit the 13 soul on the turn 3 and then have a restanding Vanguard. And the fact of obviously the second skill combos into the third skill, because you're obviously retiring and then getting to put a card from hand into soul because of that retire. It does make that 13 soul very easy to obtain. But if you notice, that's obviously a hefty bit of Cat Blast there for Cat Blast 2. So we do run alongside it the Selfish Engraver. Selfish Engraver's got 2 skills. First one being when this unit attack hits, you can soul charge 1. And the second skill being, at the end of the battle this unit attacked, if your soul has 10 or more cards, you can put this card into your soul and countercharge 1. So yes, it does have a hefty soul requirement of 10, but with how much the soul this deck actually does generate, the 10 soul's not really that hard to hit. It does take a fair bit of thought processing to manipulate your soul to be at that 10, but it's really worth a payoff in the long run. To also help upbuild the soul, we do run 4 copies of the Pandemonium Tactics. So Pandemonium Tactics is an order with the skill of Cat Blast 1, then you can soul charge 4, and then the rest of it's Final Rush lobs, so we don't even need to pay attention to that. So the fact that this is literally Cat Blast 1, soul charge 4 really helps the deck. Yes, it's another Cat Blast cost, so we do have to be careful, but it's a really good card. Extra grade 3s we have to help manipulate the soul is the first one is the Time Jarrett Dragon. So this saw a little bit of play in the Drajuled for the TCG for a little bit. But the fact of it's got the skill of when it's placed on rearguard circle, put a card from your hand into your soul to then draw a card. So this is actually specific soul charging, so you can put one of your higher grade cards into your soul, drawing a card to replace it, gaining shield if you're putting a grade 3 in and draw a normal card. 2 or below, sorry. So it does really help nicely. And then we've got this really old promo back in here. This is actually seeing some light of day again. And that is Execution Dragon, Vorpal Scythe Dragon. So Vorpal Scythe's got the skill of act rearguard circle once a turn. You can soul blast 2, choose one of your opponent's rearguards and retire it. And the second skill of when this unit attack hits, you may soul charge 2, not soul blast 2. So he's got on-spot removal, which is really nice. And then when he hits, he's then got the ability to recur that soul, which makes him even better. Plus, you can swing in when you... Say, for example, you've only got 12 grades in your soul. You can swing in with this before Favrneel, threaten your opponent with the... If this hits, my Favneel's going to likely be 13 soul. So it forces your opponent to guard more. And you can Soul Blast 2 grade zeros, for example, because obviously they don't count towards Favrneel, to pay for the cost of the on-spot retire, so you're not losing out of it. All in all, really nice card for the deck. Next grade 2 we run is we do run 4 copies of Ashadar. So Ashadar's got the skill of, if you Soul has 7 or more cards, she is a 10k shield. And second skill, when she is retired from the Guardian Circle, you may put this card into your Soul. So it's another Soul generator, which is really nice for the deck, and it's a 10k shield on top. So all in all, really nice card. Then grade 1s, we have the Steam Battler Gunganlam, who's got the skill of when his unit is placed on Rearguard Circle, Soul Charge 1. And act Rearguard Circle once a turn, you can Soul Blast 3 to draw a card. So obviously, on place, build up your Soul, really nice. And like how we were doing with Vorpal Scythe, you can use Soul Blast 3 grade zeros to draw a card. Because obviously you're then gaining extra advantage, but not hurting your long-term game plan. But with all the Soul charging, it wouldn't be a Dark States deck without Brainwash Swirler. So Brainwash Swirler's got 2 skills again. First one being, when this unit is placed on Rearguard Circle, you Soul Charge 1. And the second one is, when this card is put into your Soul by... When your card is put into your Soul by Soul Charge, if your Vanguard's grade 3 or greater, this unit gets 5,000 power to end a turn. So obviously this combos off really nicely, having 2 of these in the back row, and then you activating Pandemonium Tactics. Because both Brainwash Swirlers then gain a extra 20k power. The Soul Charge one's also really nice as well, for the fact that obviously it gives us an extra bit of soul generation to get towards Favrneel. And all works out quite nicely. Gonna quickly run through the ride line before explaining the triggers. And because Favrneel doesn't have his own dedicated ride line, we've gone for the Bruce ride line. So the grade 1 first is Steve, who's when he's placed on Vanguard Circle, choose a card from your Soul, call his back row center Rearguard Circle, and Soul Charge 1. Apologies for all the coughs, by the way. Still not 100% back to normal yet. So obviously this is really nice because obviously it calls Matt out, making a 14k column. You're generating a Soul Charge, and it really helps the deck. Especially when you're then comboing off with the grade 2 in the ride line of Richard, who says when this unit is placed on Vanguard Circle, put one of your rearguards into your Soul and draw a card. So he puts that map back into Soul again, nets you an extra card, helps out in the long run. Plus putting the map back in Soul helps putting a grade 0 in there, so obviously it then helps with the Vorpal Scythe and the Gungan alternative methods that I mentioned. So all in all, adds up really nicely. Triggers. I have gone for the basic 7 crits, 4 draws. The reason why I've gone for the 4 draws over 4 fronts is because I've noticed this deck is actually very piece reliant. And having the draws does help get the extra bit of pieces that we want for the deck. Yes, it does bring us closer to deck out. I am aware of this. But you should only ever need to use 1 copy of Pandemonium Tactics. If you're using more than 1, something's really on and you deserve to deck out and lose, honestly. Heal triggers, we have gone for the 3 normal heals and 1 copy of Yuania. And Yuania gains the 15k shield if your opponent's crit is 2 or greater, but it was increased by effect or its original base crit is 2. So crit triggers won't work with this, but stuff like Obstacle Dade, because Ever is very much popular in the format at the moment, this will gain the 15k shield, so a very useful card in the current Dear Days meta. Obviously we do run our 1 Elementaria Sanctitude and our 3 normal Perfect Guards, because you need 4 Perfect Guards in the deck and 3-1 method seems to work really nicely. And obviously for our overtrigger we have gone for the Dark States one, which has the additional effect of during your turn, all your Vanguards gain 10,000 power plus 1 critical. This is really good on Favrneel for obviously he's a restanding Vanguard. So he's going to be swinging turn 4 onwards for 33k with 3 crit. But that is it for the deck profile. I shall catch you back in a minute for the game. Alright. And we are back for the game. Against someone, someone using Toya. So let's see how this goes. Alright, now the thought processing part. Nope, we both went scissors. Both went rock. Nope, you went paper, that's fine. So we're going second, so we get to attack first. Alright, we don't need our triggers in this opening hand. But that's quite a good 1, 2, 3. You've got another swirler. Ooh, Wingle Brave. Is this actually going to be MLB or is this Ground Grace? If this is Ground Grace, this is very iconic. Alright, so obviously didn't so much from discard, just discarding K. We're going to discard a Vorpal. We don't need him at this point. So obviously Steve's skill first to call out Matt. And Soul Child Sanctitude, beautiful. That doesn't do anything for us because obviously it's not a Dark States card. Enter main phase. 14k Vanguard. Trigger. Critical trigger! Beautiful! Let's start with the pressure early. We drew a crit off of starter, but looks like as well, which is even better. So we've got quite a nice big bit of shield. Turn 3 is looking to be very solid for us, honestly. Looking at it. If we can force him to 4, that puts us in the better position. And that's 2 crits out of his deck. This is going really well for us. Hee hee. Blast of Dark. Yep, this is the Ground Grace deck. Obviously guarantees himself to find nothing because he wants to do the pulling the Wingle out, to then counterblast 1, sacrifice the Wingle to gain Twin Drive. Oh, it actually hurt us. We lost Matt. I'm dumb. I should have put one of the crits down. I'm an idiot sometimes. Hee hee. Oh, that's actually going to hurt. We'll chuck a crit down, because that makes it a 2 to pass still. Yep, he's putting it all on rear. Alright, so it's 28 with the crit, which will put us to 2. I'm really kicking myself over that misplay with the Matt and not calling something else out. Oh, wasted heal as well. That hurts a lot. Alright. Yep, he's painkillering. Puts him to 6 in hand. Obviously, Richard. Ooh, he drew Gungan around. That's actually really good for us. So we've got our combo pieces for next turn now, so we're in a really good position. We are going to take a lot of damage this incoming turn, though, for the fact of our shield power is actually quite low in the hand. And our shield power gets even lower, but that actually secures us the Favrneel at this point. And he keeps losing crits out of his deck, so I'm not in a bad position at this point. Here comes Ground Grace. Yep, and gets the Maple out for free. Yep, and the Counterblast Soul Blast for Ground Grace. Calling out... I'd want to say a Drilling Angel? Oh, Painkiller. Painkiller's not going to get the skill then. It's even better. There's a K. Honestly, it'd be better calling the K and pulling the Painkiller to the side. What do you do? When this unit is placed in Rearguard Circle, Soul Blast 1, and this unit gets Power Plus 2000. Oh, it's just to make that side. Oh. Why is that against 10k? Okay, now I am confused. I don't know why it gained the 10k. I really don't. Draw trigger, beautiful. Now, all bar the Drilling Angel column need to trigger the hit. Oh, we got an extra Gungan Ram, so I can use that as a 5k shield here. Yeah, we'll use it as a 5k shield here, forcing this to be a 2 to pass. And we've still got our crit in hand in case an extra shield's needed. Yeah, that's blocked, right. I'll just let that one hit. Pushes me to 4, so it gives me my damage I need for my double Ground Grace. Oh, I'd like that in hand. Alright. Favrneel time. The bit that hurts, we are going to have to discard a heal. Music changes, because obviously I got the foil Favrneel. Also to retire one of their rear guards. Which they go for Maple, which is good for us, because that's obviously 5k shield less. And we put Time Jarrett into Soul from hand. And draw crit, beautiful. Now this is the bit where I need to actually play fast. Because obviously, swirlers at autos do take up a fair bit of time. Alright, so that's them done. These were the easy parts. There's still the good old pandemonium yet to come. It's honestly half the reason I wanted to do this one nice and early, to get the issues out of the way with Brainwash Swirler. Yeah, here we go. 8 Brainwash Swirler activations incoming. Oh, all the power. Alright, can we activate you? 1, 2, 3. So you're a dead card. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, we've got enough. So do them. Soul Blast 3. Go zeros. Oh, we drew a Vorpal Scythe. Beautiful. Alright, let's start swinging. No trigger, that's fine. No trigger, that's fine. Favrneel skill, Cat Blast 2. So what I'll do is I'll more likely swing one of my rear guards into his rear guard, so I can get Favrneel skill filtered the time Jarrett out of hand. Okay, that's a massive overguard. Perfect. So we're going to give power crit to this side. This one he'll likely take. No, he's perfect guarded it. Fair enough. That works perfectly for me. Both guards guarding a card. Meaning he's willing to go to 5. Okay. Thing is, though, I'm willing to let you go to 5. That denies me extra heals. I get Soul Charge 2 now. And... oh god, I forgot about the swirlers. I should not have done that. What I'm mainly wanting is the Favrneel, swapping the grade 3 in hand to... yep. Then Favrneel. Time Jarrett from hand to soul. Oh, filled into more non-shield. That puts us in a better position. Oh, we didn't Persona Ride, even better. We also limited his counterblast, because obviously that's very important going into this time. Yep, called a maple to the back row, that's fine. Alright, so we'll guard with a 15 shield. Make it a 2 to pass. Yep, deny heal. Beautiful. And another denied heal. Beautiful. Well, I take this one. No, I can't take this one. This one's got to be one of the... this has got to be the Ashadar set. That's fine, you can take him with Vorpal Scythe. I'm not got any interest in keeping him around now. Okay, let's play that game. That's fine with me. Favrneel. Retire another one of your rear guards. That's fine with me. Filter one of my non-shield cards into soul to draw. And we got what I wanted. And we can still use you to Soul Blast out. Grade 1. Grade 1. And the Rod Line Grade 1. To draw a card, because we still have our 10 Soul for good old Selfish Engraver. This is actually really good. So if he lets it hit, the other side becomes even scarier as well. Because obviously the Brainwash Swirler gets to kick in. But this way, we're not losing card out of our deck and still get our counter charge. Oops, I misplayed. Crit for game. No trigger. But that's good for us. We'll do that. In case they heal out, then Favrneel still actually does get to hit. And forces a Perfect Guard out of their hand. Doesn't heal, because I'm at 4 to their 3. And we win. Get some nice little bits of VP. Thank you very much. Ooh, 3,300 VP for that match. That's good. And quite a new bits on the ladder. I shall catch you guys again in a second. So that was the game. As you saw, Favrneel's are honestly a really fun deck. Yes, I did misplay in that game slightly for forgetting about needing to put an extra rear guard down with the mat to stop the Blast of Dark, stopping Richard's skill. But you saw how well I was compressing the deck quite nicely and keeping my deck filtered and honestly monitoring their damage. So the fact that they were forced to keep guarding Favrneel or risk the crit for game. But that is going to be it for this video. If you haven't done so already, please do like and subscribe. It very much does help the channel. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye bye.